Hi, welcome back guys. So that was a bit of a strange start to a video, but when your daughters say we've got a great idea for the start of your video, you can't say no, can you? Well, if that was a strange start, we got a strange end to this game. It was a 3-point game in the end. England 33, Wales 30, so England get the win. But boy, was it close at the end, when it looked like England were actually cruising to a really well-deserved, comfortable victory. Wales looking really good in the open spaces and broken play. Sure, England were down to 14 and 13 men, but Wales exploited it very nicely and looked comfortable in that situation. However, England physically dominated Wales basically. They smashed them, their kicking was better, their set piece was better, and that was looking like it was going to carry them to a comfortable win. But fair play to Wales. I'm never comfortable when England play Wales. For the fact that it's England, Wales, and Wales are never going to give up, and they certainly didn't there. So watching this game, postponements and all the things that are going on in the Six Nations at the moment just didn't come into my mind. I'm sure like you guys watching it as England or Wales fans, you just love the battle between these two countries. And again, it was a thriller towards the end, and I'm really going to try and get tickets to the Principality next year because, to be fair, that is the best place to watch rugby in the world. Even as an England fan, I will admit that. And I'm going to really try and actually go to the England-Wales match in the Principality next year. Maybe see some of you guys there. But anyway, in the first half, England's smash factor, I'm summarising, was the key difference here. They were trying to smash bigger, they were hitting people back in tackles, and I think at some point in the second half they came up with this dominant tackle stat, which I do like. I'm not a big fan of stats, but I think this one's quite telling, and England were well on top in the dominant tackles. From the beginning, things to have a look at. North made a few mistakes, Parks made a few errors in this game, and that was costing Wales because they were looking okay in attack, but they did make costly errors. Atoje was doing really well, made a break. I mean, he's a high quality player. And then I think North's first mistake led to that Atoje break. Watson used his feet twice in the move. I mean, Watson coming back looked really sharp actually. Very impressed by him. It's a shame May went off because that was England's best back three. But anyway, Slade came on and was class. We'll come to that. But two great bits of feet by Watson lead to a really good try. I think it was an inside ball try. That was nice. 7-0. England starting to actually rock and roll at this point. Their kicking game was right on point. Young's was right on there. They've got so many kickers across the back line. And they were just making just the right length kicks where they were either contesting or smashing the guy catching the ball. Wales's kicks were okay, but they were just a bit long at times. So they gave England some time there. But then, about 7-8 minutes, Tompkins, who I think has been really good this championship, in attack especially, his footwork is magic, and he sets up phases for North to crash over, so nearly a try. But no try. Those little things really went against Wales in this first half. May goes off with a head bash, and I'm just thinking there actually, are the two subs for England gonna come back to bite them? In the end they got away with that, but that is one of the problems if you have an early injury to a back. Anyway, Wales get a penalty after that, 7-3. Interestingly, Lee Halfpenny takes the kick, an easy kick. Bigger clearly wasn't right, and he was carrying his leg through the whole game. But my God, he's a tough cookie, and he saw it out and played really well actually. Just toughed it out. It shows why they played Bigger, even though he wasn't 100%. And didn't even bring on Jared Evans, which is a bit of a slap in the face, but it does say how good Bigger is, even with half a leg. Anyway, England are definitely being deliberately niggly in this Six Nations. I mean, in the last game, they were holding on to people against Ireland, being annoying. In this game, they're being annoying as well. Just about on the right side of the ref. Joe Marler, interestingly, fondling Alan Wynne-Jones and getting away with it. I don't know if that's illegal or not, probably. Let me know. Anyway, they were being annoying, and they're deliberately being annoying, and they're getting on the right side of the ref, but could go against you. I am wincing at times when England do this, but I know why they're doing it. Another point on this match. England in this Six Nations actually have used Manu Tuilagi much more as a carrier. Previously they used him as a decoy, and he's a great decoy, but I think they've made the decision, if this guy's going to play, just give him the ball and he's going to get over the game line. And that's what he did. He played really well until his red card. Anyway, Young's milks a nice penalty. Rolling away, he could have played the ball, but he got the penalty 10-3. Wales are kicking a bit long. But Wales' attack is decent. When they keep hold of the ball and don't make mistakes, even though England are smashing them, they're doing pretty well. England give away quite an easy penalty, 10-6, so they're in the game. Some crossfield kicks are quite nice. Bigger's really good at a crossfield kick. You know, they're getting some success there. But England's shutting off quite nicely in defence, pushing up hard, making most of their tackles, and really shutting down Wales' chances. Anyway, they're edging the kicking battle. England's scrum in this game was really good. Really, really good. Joe Marler had one of the best games I've seen him play, not only in the scrum, but around the park, and they gave Wales a bit of a torrid time in that scrum. Very impressive. Even when they were down a man, they still held their own. The line out was a bit more even, but yeah, a bit of a worry there for Wales, because physically England dominated them. In the scrum they were, England were on top. And this isn't an inexperienced Welsh team. This is a very experienced Welsh team, and they were dominated physically, so that is a worry. So it's clearly not the personnel, because they've played England before with these players and done fine physically. So something's going on there. I don't know what it is, let me know. Anyway, then we get a really nice try. England, get the penalty, leads to a line out. Eventually, Daly gets the try on the left edge, but it's the big carries running onto the ball, consistently getting over the gain line. Earned the classic of earning the space out wide. Daly finishes just because they've sucked in Wales enough. That was nicely done, 17-6. Now there's quite a few 50-50s that are falling in England's way, so a little bit of fortune and just a little bit more desire really, which is again a bit worrying for Wales in that first half. Then England really, they get a penalty, cheap maul penalty for England, 26, and I was thinking, right, just get the ball off the park, go in 26 up. They play from in their own half, I'm not sure about it, they make a mistake. Penalty against them, 20-9. So anyway, 20-9. England are winning. They're deserving to win. They're winning kicking, hitting Wales back. It's looking pretty good. But, 11 points in it, the game's still there. Then the start of the second half, and wow, it's explosive right from the first minute. A terrible judgment from Daly. He flies up to make the tackle, but he's far too far away from the catch to really do that. And then Wales do what they do best in broken play. Lovely offloading into play, go the length of the pitch. Tipperick gets his first try. 2016, there's 4 points in it now, and you think, game on, what a start. And it actually ignited the game as a contest, I thought. Nice jackal from Laws. Laws played well again. I didn't think he should have been playing 6 this championship, but to be fair, I generally think he's proved me wrong on that one. He has been great. Gets a good jackal as well, which is what back rows are meant to do. England get 3 points, 23-16. And then some really excellent England attack. They are getting over the gain line, offloading and passing. Met by really good D from Wales, because I think that in the second half it was much more even. England get another scrum penalty, which has been the theme in this game. 26-16, so back to 10 points. Cruz, who had a great game actually, his last game at home for Twickenham. I'm sure he's heading off maybe to Japan. He had a really good game. He was highly motivated. He kept an interception and goes for another grubber kick, which is a bit better this time, which is quite funny. I did laugh at that point. Anyway, then we go into this massive long passage of play. England look back on top. Wales are defending okay, but they just can't stop the white wave. Tidy skills from England. Ford and Farrell were firing in this game, to be fair, skills-wise. Slade was looking slick, and he was just too good, and it ends in a walking try for Tuilagi on the left, 33-16, and it looks at this point, with about 15 to go, that the game is over. Then we go into Wales's look, sustained pressure, about 10 minutes of sustained pressure. England are giving away penalties, players are looking knackered. Anyway, a great spot from Rhys Webb. He goes straight through the middle of a ruck. He's so good at heads-up play when he comes on. So he certainly put a tick in his box for getting back in this Wales team. They make a 60-metre gain, and then they get loads of penalties, mauls, line-out, scrums, etc. And it leads to a yellow card for Genge. Now, England were warned for just sustained penalties. I think they gave away 3 penalties on the trot. And at this point, I do have a slight issue with this yellow card, because it's so much better to give away the try than the yellow card. Sure, you try and stop the try, but there's no point pushing the offside line, because if you get a yellow card and a penalty, the opposition tends to score anyway, and you're a player down for 10 minutes. So it's just not worth doing. So that was a bit silly. And then it follows up with a good tackle from Slade, but Tuolangi goes into torpedo mode. And whenever you tuck your arms in, you're asking for trouble. Sure, the guy was falling down. You can dive at him with your arms out, no problem. But if you tuck your arms in, you're in danger of a red, and that's indeed what he got. So, you know, people say there wasn't much intent there, like, okay, but just don't tuck your arms in. Don't lead with your shoulder. England were a little lucky with that. They did that a couple of times in that game. So I've actually got no problem with the red card. England are down to 13 men. They're still fighting. Launchbury holds up a maul, but then Curry, a bit lightweight from number 8, gets turned over. And Wales really exploit the numbers in the last 10 minutes. Try for bigger, 33-23. 2 minutes to go. It looks like it's too much, and it is just, but they go the length of the pitch again. Loads of phases and offloads. Tipperick scores to make it 33-30. Bigger gets the kick at the end. What a performance from a guy with half a leg. Well done Wales for hanging on in there, making the most of those numbers. I mean, you can argue England deserved the win, but discipline is part of a performance, so I don't think you could say it was a fantastic performance for England. If they'd kept their discipline, then I think you could. Anyway, Wales, they like the tries in the way they exploited the extra men, but when you're dominated physically, in the scrum, lose the kicking battle, something's a bit wrong there, even though it was a close game. I mean, there were some good performances. I mentioned Bigger. Sure, he can whinge sometimes, but the guy is a trooper, he's a real warrior, and he put in a real shift there with half a leg. Tipperick, when they play him out wide especially, is one of the best crossfield kicks, finishing off tries. But for England, I thought there were a lot of good performances. Marlow, like I said, one of the best I've seen. Cruz, I've mentioned. Itoje has to be close to one of the best second rows in the world on pure ability. Curry is fantastic, but there's just no need to play him at 8. He could be fantastic on the flank and he could play a specialist number 8, but whatever, he still plays great. And the whole back line was impressive. Watson slick on his return, and Slade is a Rolls Royce of a player. He can do a bit of everything when he's fully fit. This was him fully fit. Tackling, kicking, making half breaks, putting guys in with passes. So some big pluses for England. Wales, close but lost. You know, they're well out of the championship now. They need to be given time because it is a new regime. It's not particularly new players, so it clearly must be the new regime. But let's give them a bit more time and then judge them. But Welsh fans, let me know if I've been too harsh or too lenient, or where you think they're not quite there. For England, very good, very intent. They still need to introduce some new players. When is this Six Nations going to finish? I don't know. But anyway, I'm still looking forward to Scotland versus France. I do think that's going to be a good game, with Scotland desperate and France going for the Grand Slam. Anyway, I've gone on enough. I enjoyed that game. Let me know what you thought of that game. If you want any England or Wales stash, use my link below in the description. Use the code so you don't pay full price. And I will catch you next time for that Scotland versus France review. Thank you very much.